I'll tell you why. I've known the family, the Wallin family, for 3 decades. And they truly are dedicated to bringing us the best of the best. This is their Wow series of ice plants. They're new this month. These are super winter hardy. We had how many? 1,000? Oh, I'm sorry. We had 7,000 people who have picked them up. This is fantastic ground cover. It's also problem solution planning. On my own property, I did a lot of hardscaping. I brought big boulders in where I had areas of erosion on a hill on my farm where planting grass made no sense because the slope was just way too steep. So I brought in big boulders and it looked barren. It looked rough. So I planted ice plants in between the stones and it softened everything up. It's one of my favorite places on the property. This is the largest set that we do and the most colorful. You're getting 2 of the hot pink, 2 of the hot orange, and 2, there is no yellow brighter than the limoncello. Anyone can have success with these, and these plants spread out. So you're getting 6 of them. Each one of them is going to grow out to about 18 inches in square. So you're going to get between 10 and 15 feet of ground cover for less than $25. And you're going to have color for 4 to 5 months out of the year. Most ice plants that you find at local gardening centers can't compete. I want to bring in Devin Wallin. Devin is 3rd generation, and he is part of the Wallin family. We've done ice plants and had success before. We've never done a set this big that I'm aware of. Devin, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good, Dan. I'm always thrilled to be with this ice plant collection. This is the Super Bowl winner of ground covers. There's no ground cover that I've ever grown that is a better performer, that solves more problems in your garden and brings more color than this beautiful Wow series ice plant. Now, Dan, ice plant, I'm sure you're familiar, but let me just remind you, ice plant, it's a winter hardy, flowering succulent ground cover that, as you were saying, this is a plant that can replace the need for mulches in your yard. It also can replace the need for gravel. Its thick growth will help to smother out weeds so you're not picking weeds all summer long. And it's also great for erosion control. Yeah. But the Wow series, or the Wheels of Wonder, is my favorite ice plant collection because it has some of the largest, most colorful, brightest, longest lasting flowers of any ground cover anywhere. And we're giving you 6 beautiful plants in this tray. 2 of those limoncello yellows, the hot pinks, and 2 of the orange. So this is a really wonderful collection this season.
For me, I don't have, I can't get a garden hose to everywhere I wanted to have plants. It's just not possible for me. And especially on that one slope that I was talking about, the hardscaping, I watered these in using a 5-gallon bucket and a handheld sprinkler. And then I didn't touch them. They've been on my property now for 3 years. I don't water them. I don't worry about hot weather. They're drought resistant. As delicate as they may look, these are like cast iron plants. And most ground cover and succulents that do flower give you itty bitty flowers that are about the size of a quarter. Exactly. These are big, Devin, and you get a lot more for a lot longer time.
That's what makes the Wheels of Wonder, or the Wow series, so spectacular. These were bred over in Japan by a good friend of ours, and when he was spending years creating these ice plants, he really did his best to create some of the largest flowers of any ground cover, like you were saying. Most ground covers don't flower. If they do flower, they're tiny little specks, and they're often kind of like a dull yellow or kind of like bland, creamy color. But this Wheels of Wonder, you're getting beautiful, rich, gemstone-like flowers. And these will be blooming. So I planted in my garden here in Westchester, I planted about 100 of these last summer. And they started to bloom around the middle of May, and they lasted all the way until November when we had our first frost.
Yep.
So
I had
that
the
is
same
a good
experience.
idea. Isn't it incredible?
And I'll tell you, again, when I say problem solution, if you've got kind of a stark area of your property that has no real personality to it, this is the perfect way of adding color. And because they're succulents, they hold water like a camel. Let's go back to the still again. Here in America, we tend to use mulch, which is nothing more than dead trees. Or down south, they use pine needles. Planting this is absolutely maintenance free. I have to remulch every season, every year, I should say. With this, you don't.
This, you plant it once and it actually will act like a living mulch. Now you can see here on that image on the right that there is some mulch kind of around the edge of that beautiful hot pink ice plant. And as that hot pink ice plant continues to grow and expand, it's going to cover up all of those areas where you were previously putting mulch every year, but now you're filled with beautiful evergreen foliage. And then you're going to have gorgeous flowers for up to 5 months in your garden, just like that. That's why most gardeners, when they see this ice plant, they always tend to buy 4 or 5 or even 6 collections to really start to eliminate the need for mulch altogether in your yard.
I also want to really stress, because Devin, I know you won't do it. I will toot the Roberta's horn much louder than their own family members because I know how good they are. These are some of the finest plants in the world. The entire Walline family, and Roberta was your grandmother, am I correct?
Uh-huh.
She started the business back in the early 60s. It has thrived. These are super rare plants to find, but very easy plants to grow.
Very easy plants to grow.
There's no maintenance on this whatsoever, and you get the results of having a lot of lush. I have basically the equivalent of what you'll see this season. Planting,
from one collection.
Yeah, from one collection. And they will continue to spread out a little bit. They also, like when I planted in between boulders, I love that they spill over a little bit.
They're perfect on slopes, on the tops of retaining walls. Here you can see it just kind of captivating this corner right here. That would be a very difficult area to grow grass because it would be very hard to mow that area. It probably has very poor rocky soil, but yet the ice plant continues to thrive. Here you can see it just overflowing over the edge of that retaining wall. These plants are so effortless, but such beautiful plants that bring so much joy with months of color. They're very drought tolerant, heat resistant, they're even deer resistant, but they're also exceptionally winter hardy. So that makes them a wonderful option for gardeners all across the country. The only thing that you have to decide is how many collections you really want to get. In these six-pack trays, you can see that planting them into your old mulch just like that, one of these plants will grow into something that looks like this by the end of the first season.
Yeah, I put $100 worth of these plants onto my property, knowing that that's about what I would have to spend in mulch to cover the same ground, which I had to do year in and year out. I've been thrilled with them. This is very, very popular. All that we can get for the year, you're getting 3 different colors, the yellow, the pink, that bright orange. Yeah, it's like buying a few flats. Get a few if you can. They'll come to your home exactly at the right time for planting. Devin, it's great to see you. Thanks for helping me out today.
Thanks, Dan. We'll be back at 5 to 6 p.m. tonight on Q2, full hour show.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Coming up a little bit later